This quote, this really hits the nail on the head. You know, your income pays the bills, it buys your lifestyle, sure, but your net worth, that's what buys you your freedom. It's the thing that gives you real options in life.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually build it? Look, I get it. It can feel super overwhelming, but the path, it's way clearer than you think. We're just going to break it all down, step by step, into a plan you can literally start using the second this is over.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to figure out your starting point, map out your goals, create a budget that actually works, get your money working for you, and then we'll learn how to dodge those big money traps everyone seems to fall into.
Okay, step one, finding your financial starting point. I mean, think about it. You can't plug a destination into your GPS without knowing where you are right now, right? It's the exact same with your money. We need a clear, totally honest snapshot of where you stand today. This is the foundation for everything else.
And the most important number in this whole snapshot, it's your net worth. Seriously, this is the ultimate scoreboard for your financial health. Forget just your salary. That's not the whole story. This is the number that tells you if you're actually, truly building wealth.
And calculating it is actually super simple. You've got your assets, all the stuff you own that has value, and then you've got your liabilities, all the stuff you owe. That's it. The whole game is just making that first column grow way faster than the second one.
And to really zoom in on your progress, there are three numbers you've got to know every single year. What's your take-home pay? What are your total expenses? And that leaves you with a surplus or a deficit. That last number is everything. It tells you point blank, are you moving forward or are you slipping back?
All right, so now we know our starting point. The next logical step is, where are we going? Your money needs a destination, a purpose. And what you're about to see is that the timeline for your goals, well, that changes absolutely everything.
So check this out. If your goal is short-term, say less than 5 years away, you need that money to be safe and easy to get to. Think high-yield savings. But if you're talking long-term, like retirement, that's when you can really go for growth, because you got plenty of time to ride out any bumps in the market.
And listen, if there's one thing you take away from this for your long-term goals, it's this. Time is your superpower. Seriously. Time plus a little thing called compounding, it's the most powerful wealth-building tool on the planet. Let me just show you what I'm talking about.
Okay, let's say you start with $100,000, a nice round number. And you leave it alone, you just let it grow for 20 years. You're letting time do all the hard work.
So, what happens? Well, after those 20 years, with an average market return, that $100,000 could become more than $670,000. That is insane. That's not just your money working for you. It's your money's earnings making their own earnings. That right there is the magic of compounding.
Okay, that's awesome, but where does that investment money actually come from? Well, that brings us to budgeting. And I know that word sounds so restrictive, right? But I want you to stop thinking of it that way. A budget isn't a cage. It's the engine that powers your whole financial journey.
And a super simple way to get started is the 50-30-20 rule. It's a great benchmark. Basically, 50% of your paycheck goes to stuff you absolutely need. 30% goes to stuff you want, and, this is the most important part, 20% goes to future you. That's where the wealth building happens.
So what does that actually mean? Well, needs are the have-to-haves. Rent, groceries, that kind of thing. Wants are the fun stuff. Going out, hobbies, you name it. But that future you slice of the pie, that's the real game changer. That's the money you use to pay down debt, save, and invest. It's literally how you build your net worth.
All right, so we know our starting point, we have a destination, and our budget is the fuel in the tank. Now it's time to hit the gas. Let's talk about putting your money to work and really moving into the fast lane.
But a lot of people ask, when should I actually start investing? Well, here's a simple 3-step plan. First, get a 1-month safety net saved up. Just a small cushion.
Second, you've got to get rid of any high-interest debt. I'm talking credit cards. Paying 20% interest is like investing for a guaranteed loss. Get rid of it. After that, you can start building up your bigger emergency fund and investing at the very same time. And just remember, this strategy changes as you do. It's not set in stone. When you're, say, 30, you can be all about growth, right? Take more risks. But when you're 60 and getting closer to retirement, the game changes. It's not about growing your pile of money anymore. It's about protecting the pile you've already built.
Last but definitely not least, let's talk about avoiding the big money traps. Because building wealth isn't just about the good moves you make, it's about dodging the bad ones. We're going to navigate two of the biggest financial potholes out there: cars and houses. When it comes to cars, a great rule of thumb is the 24-10 rule. It's basically a guardrail to keep you from driving your finances off a cliff. So 20% down, a loan for no more than 4 years, and keep all your car costs under 10% of your income. Why? Because a car is a depreciating asset. This rule stops it from sucking your wealth away every single month.
And then there's the big one. Should you buy a house or rent? Look, there's no magic answer here. It's a total trade-off. Buying builds that sweet, sweet equity, but it costs a ton up front and you're kind of stuck in one place. Renting, you get total flexibility, no surprise repair bills, but you're not building any ownership. The right call for you really just depends on your money and your life. So there you have it. That's the roadmap. From figuring out where you are today to dodging the big traps down the road, you have the complete framework now. The only question left is the most important one. What's your first step going to be?